viewers. Tonight, I will be reading Claymore Chapter 15. I will see how much commentary I can do in this particular chapter. I'm not particularly sure if I really will have much to say. Though I will say that for whatever reason, this particular image here looks a bit strange. Maybe it is just the way it was. It sort of blends in with the background colors, but it almost seems as though her mouth is sort of distorted in some way. Alright, let me begin narrating. Hey Claire, come take a look at this. Alright, they walk over here to look at I suppose a town or village in the distance. Let me take a look and see if this is or they have it at 150%. But maybe I should make it bigger on the screen. I can't see it so well. Okay. This should be better. For some reason, usually I have this zoomed into 150%, but for some reason I'm having a difficult time actually seeing the words. I hope my vision is not deteriorating. Which is kind of strange because I drank some pine tea, and that is supposed to be good for a person's eyes. Alright. That's the town of Roku, the next town I'll be visiting. We should reach it by tomorrow night. We'll part ways there. Don't give me that look. You'll be happier there with me than with me. Alright. Okay, she doesn't like that. She's shaking her head. No, she wants to stay with Teresa. It's true, really. Nothing good will come from staying with me. Don't worry. I won't abandon you when we get there. I'll find someone to look after you. You'll be fine. Okay. They're at camp. She's sleeping. Sleeping noises. She cried herself to sleep. How strange. She was crying about parting with the likes of me. Whomever she ends up with, it'll be better than being with me. At least she'll get to live like a normal human being. Well, okay, snapping of, who knows, a tree maybe. Okay, she recognizes that something is going on. Someone is in the woods. So, what do you want? Okay, it's the thief that she, whose arm she cut off. Alright. Okay, heavy breathing noises. His veins look kind of weird, to be honest. Almost as though he looks somewhat like a Yoma, with the veins sort of distorted like this, but I suppose if you had your arm cut off and you were thinking about the woman who did it, you would probably be quite angry. Why? I'm gonna. Okay. I sensed you following us. You should have taken care of your arm. It wouldn't have become infected. Okay, so his arm is infected, so that is to explain how weird he looks, I suppose. Huh, that is interesting. If you want revenge for your hand, forget it. There's no way you can kill me. If you attack, I'll fight back regardless of the rules. I know that. More heavy breathing. It's not your life I'm after. Then what? Okay. Dashing sounds. What is he doing? Huh? Okay. More sort of rustling sounds. I'm gonna make you pay. I'll make you live to regret what you did. More heavy breathing sounds. Don't you get it? You can't. Okay, he's ripping the clothes off this Claymore girl. I don't care. I'll make you suffer. You'll wish you had never been born. Fine, I don't care. Humans. Are we fighting to protect creatures like this? That face of yours drove me mad from the start. And those eyes, filled with disgust. I see that doll face of yours twisted in pain. Okay. Some type of sound. Whop. Whatever sound that is. Alright. Okay. So, Claire's surprised. Teresa is surprised. What? Oh, she took up a stick to defend the Claymore girl. Okay, heavy breathing noises from her. She has a wooden stick. She's gonna fight this man. Why, you little... Okay, she's coming after her. Co-wop. Alright, now he smacks the little girl down. Huh? Ah! Whatever type of noises those are. Okay, beating up sounds. Don't get smart with me, you miserable little... Ah! I'll kill you right here. Okay. She takes out her sword. Unsheathing noises. What do you think you're doing with my sword? If you kill me, your comrades will come for your head. It's an ironclad rule. Don't you get it? You seem to be misinformed. Let me explain. Even if it's a rule, whether or not I follow it is up to me. Whether I obey the rule or break it and get killed by my comrades is my choice. Okay, they zoom in on the eyes, of course, because they're supposed to be so very scary and terrifying. Alright. Well, now he's considering what he's doing. Now go, unless you want me to lop off your head. The whole power dynamic is going to become very apparent as we read the manga. If you have watched the anime, you have doubtless already seen it. And truth be told, this whole type of thing is very popular in comic books and manga and many other things, such as this media like this, where basically there are certain characters who we can sort of inject into a power fantasy. It is not really a good stories are not made through power fantasy. I will just put it that way. If you plan to read this manga, you are going to recognize that basically there is only one thing, only one type of being that is stronger than the Claymore, which we have not encountered yet, but we will. We will encounter these entities that are even stronger than Claymores, but basically, a Claymore can kill just about anything. Humans are sort of useless. Men in general are useless. Unless the men are monsters, they are useless. You're worthless. There's no risk involved. And a story that has no risk involved is a very boring story. It really does not matter how you do it. It doth not matter what characters are involved, whether it's sort of feminine and masculine dynamics, what have you. Alright? A power fantasy is never exciting. This is the reason why many of us, and it is sort of ironic that a lot of the people who like Claymore and Berserk, a good deal of them like to play games like FromSoft games like Dark Souls, but the truth is, although Dark Souls and Demon Souls were influenced by Berserk, and Claymore was influenced by Berserk, people who play Dark Souls do it to get away from the power fantasy. The idea is that every enemy that you face, in a sort of fictional sense, although they may not be important, they can still destroy you. They can still kill you. And so I think these stories, where you have a protagonist character who is so strong they can destroy anybody, you are not a threat. And you see that a lot throughout this manga. It is going to take a very long time before there are any threats to the Claymores. And even when there are threats to the Claymores, they always, of course, in sort of manga and comic books, in this particular manga, they are going to find a way to do something, or, things are going to become blurred. Basically, as we're reading this whole chapter, and the next chapter, and the chapters that have to do with, child Claire, it is all about redemption. Oh, well, Teresa was awfully mean, and she was awfully cruel to Claire, but look, this is her good side. She was, which, is fine, but what we will see is power fantasy. And I criticize power fantasy. I do not like it. I think a lot of people do like it, but I think power fantasy is one of the things that, truth be told, that is sort of the appeal of a power fantasy, is living vicariously through someone else or being on the other side of the power fantasy. Now, the idea behind Claymores is that, for the most part, men are not strong. They are weak. So a Claymore girl is so much more powerful than you. She does not really care what you do because you cannot hurt her. No matter what you do, you cannot hurt her at all. And so to her, you are just, she talks down to humans as, beings. We are going to see men who are, coming later, but I'm not going to spoil it. But basically, early on in this manga, just about all of the men are weak, and humans in general are weak. And basically, the early part of this manga, we are going to be seeing that there is going to be this whole division where basically throughout the manga, they are really trying to define the difference between a human and a Claymore, and how much more inferior. And even they will be questioning morality in the sense that they will be basically presenting the Claymores as being more virtuous, not just superior physically, not just superior mentally, or, which you could argue, they are not sort of affected by anything that happens to them. For the most part, they basically kill without any particular care. Here Teresa is displaying a good deal of bravery. She is saying, well, if I break the rules, then, it doth not matter, basically. She does not care about breaking the rules. And here she is presented as being far more braver than the average human. The average human will not even defend Claire from being beaten down by Teresa, who for whatever reason decided to beat up Claire, physically, like with her bare hands, knocking her down and kicking her. But for whatever reason, she let the thief literally push her down. So there's a double standard here. So basically she is saying, okay, to the thief, you can do whatever you want with me. And she is laying herself open. All right, if you are this open to sort of receiving, some type of harm from an individual, and you can take it, and you are not willing to hurt him, even though she knows that she could just literally knock him out. She does not have to kill him. And that's what she did with Claire. She let her fall down from a cliff. So you see, there is some really flawed logic. There's a great deal of flawed logic in this manga. To be honest, because it okay. I'm actually going too far. But anyhow, let me continue. Let me continue reading. It's your own fault. I didn't give a damn, but you had to stick your nose in. You brought it all on yourself. Okay, the little girl's sad, but she's extending her hand to her. Can you stand, Claire? Okay. She's crying. Okay, she's hugging Teresa. Okay. Oh, how heart-touching, how heartwarming this is. Hey. What? Her. Okay. Doesn't it hurt? Doesn't it hurt? Okay, she's speaking. Claire is speaking. Claire, you spoke. It didn't hurt, did it? It must still hurt. So. Okay. Oh, that's why you... It's alright. It doesn't hurt. It just looks that way. More crying sounds. From the moment I first saw you, you've never looked so sad. Your face shows so much pain. Your eyes are like mine. You look so sad, so hurt, so lonely, as if you couldn't stand it. So I... Okay. Let's see. I wonder what this scene is. The one being comforted was me? The Yoma stole everything you cherished. The people you trusted most betrayed you and cast you out. You've lost all reason to live, and now roam from place to place, and you carry the same pain and heartache. With your small, trembling body, you're clinging with all your might to someone who shares the same wounds as yourself. And all because this is the one thing you wanted most for yourself. Okay, Teresa is crying. Okay, she is crying. It's all very emotional, very touching, very heartwarming. I suppose. Okay, this little girl, who's not even half my size, taught me that tears can flow even from these silver eyes. Okay, so, you know, there's going to be some power fantasy coming up in at least the next chapter. But for now, they are trying to sort of express Teresa's humanness. But we are going to see this where they are going to sort of establish a sort of moral difference between claymores and humans in general. Thus far, let us talk about humans. So, the only humans that we have seen, for the most part, have literally been villagers and the bandits. They all show that they are cowardly. For whatever reason, the bandits know some information that basically, they know more information than the villagers know about claymores. Why that is so, who can say? It is unexplained. The villagers do not even know how to pay the claymores, but for whatever reason, the bandits know that claymores cannot kill humans, and so there is no reason to fear them. So the bandits are behaving in a way that is more fearless than the townspeople, than the villagers, or whoever, whatever you would call it, a village or a town. But we have a long way to go. This is just chapter 15. I think we have more than 100 chapters to go. So, yes. To be entirely honest, I have to say that one of the most interesting things that we are going to see is how they portray humans compared to claymores. It will become more drastic, the type of difference that they are going to show, and even now they are showing a type of supremacy and a type of cowardice that humans have. And we are going to see just how far that goes. So this chapter, not very much happened in the chapter, but the future chapters will be more interesting. All right. So may you be blessed and farewell.